90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. You are tuned in to the diary room.
Another week, another diary.
That's so real.
It's the same.
It's the same one. We've been in here all season, locked in this diary room.
We've been stuck
for so long. Here we are. Now, if you don't know what the diary room is, I don't know where you've been, but this is a Big Brother commentary show. We are here in the diary room to talk about the latest in BB26. And oh boy, did some things happen in the past week. Our opinions on if they were good things or not, that is soon to come. You will understand very soon. But the first thing we're gonna do, because last episode, so we were here same time last week, we left the studio realizing that we neglected to talk about something from the week prior.
Very, very large thing.
A very large thing.
Literally.
And that would be none other than Ainsley's boyfriend, question mark? We didn't talk about Zingbot at all. Maybe there's a reason for that. I don't know. But
Kinda lame this year, IMO. Just wanted to add that in.
And maybe perhaps that's why we forgot to talk about him completely. Yeah, Ainsley's back, introduced that another robot is in the house, and it was none other than Zingbot. Zingbot, they just kind of had him on the little like balcony by the HOH room, talking about, does some digging, some digs on the house guests. And it was largely all right. I don't know. The zings were kind of mid.
They were
Kind of mid. Um, it did the most memorable one to me would be Chelsea's. Because
yeah,
it
no,
was
that was a good one.
that was a good one because it was commentary on how she can never get Cam, and I would have hated that. If I was Chelsea, I would have been so upset with production at that moment. Not cool production, but I thought it was cool. I thought it was funny. And I guess if people didn't know before in the house that Chelsea has a crush on Cam, well, they certainly do now.
Wait, she does? I thought that she was mad because she doesn't. She doesn't.
Oh, she do.
She do.
She do. At least I think it's one of those things where she hasn't like admitted it on camera.
Definitely hasn't, because I feel like I would have remembered something.
Yeah.
Like that.
But the closest that we got was when Leah said in the diary room, like, it's pretty obvious that Chelsea has a crush on Cam. And then she went through that whole thing where she was just like bickering with him outside in Janky World. Like meh, meh, meh. Like just about like moving the bed, because he moved his bed closer to Mackenzie, but it was because of the awning, because it was outside and it was gonna rain, and they were all scooching their beds to like the outskirts of the of the backyard.
There was some shit.
And she was really annoyed in the same way that I know, like, oh, she's got a crush on him. That's why she's meh, 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 meh. So I think she does.
Fair. No, I mean, maybe she did say something in what's it called too, on the live feeds, but I don't watch the
I think it's just like, okay, we could tell, like the way that she's acting with him. But either way, even if it's not true, the whole house knows.
No.
The other one, Angela got a song.
Angela got a song, but it was a lame song.
It was a little bit lame, and she really took it to heart.
No, she did.
Poor Angela.
I mean, at least he went all out for her. Like, at
Yeah.
least he tried. There was like effort.
And
Who
she
else
got
got
to
a song?
experience it.
I know somebody else got a song.
Someone else got a song. It was so long ago now, guys.
Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure it might have been. No.
It was a poem.
There was a
There was a poem about
it
Tucker
was it was
for
a poem.
Rabina.
Yes, that's what it was.
That was kind of, it was like, I'd like to say it was funny, but it was like really baseline funny because the joke was there with Tucker's name, and that's all they did.
I
It's
love
like,
how
oh.
I love how they couldn't think of anything to say about Rabina herself, so they said something about Tucker instead.
Yeah, that in itself is kind of funny. Yeah, she kind of did that to herself.
Man,
Because there's not a lot of material on
this is like
her.
this is like the last final five that I would have liked to have in this game.
Yeah.
Like if you were
Yeah,
telling me to pick 5 players that I didn't want to be in Final Five, all 5 of these people would be like at the top of the list.
but there's seven in the time that we're talking about. Aren't there seven?
That's very true.
It's very true.
That is very true.
But I agree, and that's what we're about. I mean, if you're listening right now and you're not caught up,
If
that'd be really silly.
this happened a week
A
ago,
week ago. Well, now let's go to this week because we sorry Zingbot that we forgot about you.
because I
Um
literally forgot that the Zingbot part was like the week ago, and I was like, oh my God.
yeah, no, because I do love Zingbot, but it was like kind of underwhelming
Yeah,
because they've also done a lot of competitions with Zingbot, and then this year it was not.
they didn't do a competition.
And I don't know, maybe they kind of that doesn't have to happen, but they kind of set that expectation in the last couple of seasons
Did
where I'm
they
like,
not do one last year with him?
I forgot. I thought they did. They've done a lot where like he ran for president.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
That one was funny. I remember that one, and it was so funny. That was the cookout year,
He
right?
did that.
That was 2023, I believe.
Mm,
I'm not sure, but that was a good Zingbot.
that would have been 22.
Oh yeah, because it was for the election.
Mm,
Was it for the election?
so the election was in 2020,
So it
but I
might have
think the
been 20.
cookout was in 22.
So the president one might have been in 2020,
Perchance.
perchance. Who
Perchance.
knows?
But
Zingbot lore goes deep.
they also did another one where he had like a kid.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That was like a little earlier though.
A little earlier. I don't remember.
I have no
But I
idea
do know they've
the
been
Zingbot
doing
timeline.
Zingbot competitions. There was no Zingbot comp. Blomp. But that was a callback to last week because we had to give Zingbot some time to shine. Um, but now we move on to this week and we go back to last Thursday, the episode that happened after our episode last week. So the last time you heard the two of us, did we even did we do our intros? I'm Emol. Did we do that? Who? Wait, they've been
We
listening to the
start.
diary room, but
They
they don't know who's in here.
start.
They don't know who's in here. I'm
Why?
Hi, I'm in the diary room. I'm Emol.
We just said we. I do remember that we didn't introduce ourselves.
Well, who are you?
I'm Chris. Just Chris. Still Chris. Just Chris. It's always Chris.
Can confirm.
Can't confirm.
Y'all, I'm so sleepy today. Also, really distracted by the fact that we did not have an episode of Big Brother last night.
That really upset me.
I always keep up with the lore. I'm watching my podcast. Shout out to Rob has a podcast and Taryn. I just got a Kellis plushie. Taryn Armstrong made a plushie of his cat.
That's so crazy.
It's so freaking cute. I almost brought it to the studio, but I was too afraid that Kellis would get lost.
Oh,
Maybe for the finale
maybe for the finale.
when I don't have World College Radio Day on my brain, which is coming up today, 4 p.m., 32-hour broadcast. But first we're still locked in this
We're
diary
still
room.
locked in the diary room.
32 hours locked
4
in the
p.m. yet.
diary room.
It's not 4 p.m. yet.
It's 12:15 as we're recording this, but no, I'm very turned around by no episode from yesterday. But I'm still listening to the podcast, trying to keep in the Big Brother mode. So now we're gonna flash back to Thursday. And what we were looking ahead at last Thursday was a double eviction that was about to happen. At the moment, Mackenzie was HOH, and did we even reveal who was on the block? I can't remember if they left us on a cliffhanger.
So at the time of the first eviction, it was Chemo and Rubina, I believe, before the veto.
Well, no, I think it was Kimo and Angela.
Chemo and Angela.
I think
Oh,
so. Yeah.
wait, actually, yes, you're right. You're right. You're right. So it was Chemo and Angela.
Mm-hmm.
Then who won the veto?
What comp was
Chemo won the veto. It was the one where they had to slide the ball down the thing
no,
for
that
Bill.
was during the double.
That was the one that Chemo won.
That was in the double.
Are you sure?
No,
You're not sure.
guys, I'm
Chem
so sleepy
I
here
Chem
in the
that was
diary room.
that was that was the one that Chemo won.
I thought
Unless that was the
no, I think
second, unless it was
Mackenzie won it.
Mackenzie won the first veto. I hate doubles, man.
Doubles are
Doubles are so
confusing us right now.
stupid.
So before the double happened, Mackenzie is HOH, Chemo and Angela are on the block. Mackenzie did win. And
Oh
I
yeah,
remember, I don't remember the comp, but I do remember Angela saying, I would appreciate if
yes.
you
If
use it
you
on
use the
me.
veto on,
And
yes,
Mackenzie's like, to the diary room at least, is like, no. But I respect the effort and I appreciated that. I thought it was good that Angela tried,
yeah.
but it didn't quite work. And so I think that was the 10th veto or ninth veto. They kept up the streak of the veto being used,
Yes.
and they didn't think that the veto was going to be used because why would the HOH use it on her own nominations? It's because Mackenzie decided to take Chemo off the block and oh gosh, and replace Chemo with Leah, the Janky Queen. Um,
Ah.
and then Mackenzie now put on the block Leah and Angela. Now, fun fact, those are my last three draft picks. Um, that remain in the house at this time. One of my draft picks put the other two draft picks on the block. And we did mention it last week that this makes no sense for Mackenzie. She had a brain during Janky World, and I think she left the cells outside.
She didn't have a brain when she walked in this house.
It
If I'm
was
going
like
to be 100% honest,
maybe there's something in the LA air that gave her some thoughts,
maybe
and then she went back indoors and they were trapped outside.
something like that.
Janky brain. Janky brain worked.
Thank
And
you,
now she's
brain.
just got neutral brain and it didn't work because Angela and Leah truthfully had her back, but she
Yeah.
decided to go with Chelsea and Cam.
Who are weaker competitors, may I
And
add. Well, as of at the time,
mhm.
were weaker competitors.
But I mean, I don't know. I guess from Mackenzie's perspective, it's like, oh well, there's two people, but I don't know. I think anyone would probably lose sitting next to Chelsea, but we could get into that later on.
We can talk about this.
So Mackenzie puts up two people who were not gunning for her whatsoever up in the block, and I think that's where we left off because then we have the Thursday episode.
Yes, this
Um,
is the second part of the double.
well, no, because no, okay,
Now this is the
well,
double.
now we're in the double
Now we're
episode.
in the double
Yes,
episode.
when at the beginning of the night, Julie Chen announces the moment you've been waiting for. It is time for the double eviction, and the house guests have been waiting for it for weeks. It I don't actually know, like looking on paper, how many weeks in they usually do the double. I do feel like this was
I feel
pretty
like it
late.
was kind of late. Yeah.
Pretty late, where people were convinced maybe it wasn't gonna happen. Because
No, they do one every season.
no, I mean like in the house. They're
Oh,
just like, what's going on here?
I don't know.
Um, because also before this it was introduced actually with Ainsley because Ainsley prior to the eviction was talking to the house guests about like you guys betrayed me. I'm gonna unleash something on the house or whatever.
Yes.
Um, and that comes later. But unfortunately, it was obvious that it's one of those things that the house guests need to remember.
That was
Like,
after that was after the first eviction.
yes, but point is both of the house guests that are on the block are still in the house, and that kind of sucks. You're sitting here and you're like, oh, I gotta memorize this thing, but also I may get evicted and it's for nothing. It's like, yeah, we're moving on without you guys.
So,
Because like both Leah and Angela were there for that, which makes sense.
oh, they were there for
Because
that.
they
Okay.
have to be.
I wasn't sure if it was like if it was like right after
No, I think it was like a throughout the night thing, like the night before, and then I mean I guess we could just jump to the
the
eviction itself
eviction.
because I think I had a feeling this was gonna happen last week. I'm pretty sure.
No, this was like
Um,
they would have been stupid not to do this.
yeah. So the house guests vote, and they vote out Leah.
No, it was Angela first.
No, it wasn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Man,
Yeah.
I hate doubles.
Guys, it was a whole
Guys, I
week
hate doubles.
ago.
It was a whole week ago and it's a double, so like
Yeah, it was
please bear with me.
Leah that went out first, and
No, you're right. Now I
um
remember.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. We're reminding ourselves that we've been locked in this diary room
It's
for
been
like
so
80
long.
days.
It's been too long.
No, it was Leah that went out and, she went out with Grace. She's adorable, and I was really sad because at first I wasn't really rooting for her at
Me
the
neither.
beginning.
Yeah.
And then as time went on,
And then she
I
started
and
winning.
then she started winning and I'm
And
like,
she started killing it.
she did. And she had a good deal going on with Angela, and so it was like the worst possible thing, like the worst person that she could have been sitting up against for her game. And so Leah is sent to the jury house,
But she gets to be with Quinn,
but
so.
she gets to be with Quinn. You know what I think about she's gonna end up in the diary room and she's gonna ask Quinn one question.
Casting. You're incredible. You looked really cool in yellow. I like your smile. You treat people with kindness. You're really funny.
You're really, really funny.
Like
And that's what the jury house is going to be. And poor T-Core.
Poor T-Core.
But don't worry, T-Core, because there's someone right behind Leah. Or it is a double, tis double eviction. And so the house guests have to go immediately into they do the whole week in like half an hour. That is what a double eviction is. There's going to be two people that go. And so Leah's at the door and they play the competition where they have to remember, like I said, what Julie Chen Bot said in when she was in the Ainsley, like the AI box. So it was AI Julie, and she said a couple things. It was like you had to remember the order that things were said or the exact verbiage that Chenbot used. Also, like I think referred to herself as Chenbot.
She did.
Or Ainsley did.
Ainsley
It was very funny that the phrase Chenbot is now canon. Like in the show Big Brother. So we go
one thing
into
that Joseph contributed.
yeah, thank you, Joseph. So they go into the HOH comp. It was a true false, and boy, was I on the edge of my seat for this
I
one.
hated this I actually don't think I've enjoyed a competition in like multiple. It's been weeks since I've enjoyed the outcome of a competition.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I can't disagree.
let's.
Especially with this one.
Ah,
So, mm, so they had to do true false, right? And you had to get, I think it was like 5 correct, or like the most correct at the end of the amount of questions that they
Yeah.
had. And Chelsea was killing it, and everyone else was kind of falling behind. I'm like, please, no, please. I don't like mind Chelsea like as a human being, but I feel like it is 100%, it is her game to lose at this point.
Yes.
I want someone else to win.
I think
Mm,
out of it, well, okay. We're still on the competition because I literally just talked about this and I just forgot again that it's not Final Five yet. It's still Final Six.
this is 6 at
Let's
this
finish
point.
the competition.
Okay. So they do the true falses, and people's scores are a little bit up and down. And Angela got something wrong, right? Like I think like the first round, the second
Yeah.
round, she got something wrong. And Chelsea got everything right up until towards the end when Chelsea finally got something wrong. But Angela got it right or whatever. And so Angela catches
Clawed
up,
her way back.
clawed her way back up. And and so there's a tiebreaker. And the tiebreaker is only between Angela and Chelsea. So everyone else walk away. The question, I'm so pained. The question that was asked by Julie Chen was, in minutes, how long was Janky Week? And so I'm not good at math, but they do have this board in front of them with a marker. You have a little bit of time to do a little bit of math. Now, my thought process was you figure out how many minutes are in a day and you times that. My thought was 8 because I didn't know exactly if it was like Thursday. If it's Thursday to Thursday, that's 8.
8 what?
Right?
Days?
8 days.
8
Sorry.
days. That's
Sorry.
7 days.
And then
Thursday.
oh, full of it. Full.
Mole. Are you okay?
Because it's a full Thursday and then another full Thursday.
Oh,
Isn't that
okay.
8?
Yeah, fair.
So that's what I thought
That's
it
fair.
was. In the end, I think it wasn't quite. Maybe it was like 7.5
Yeah,
because Julie said the number. It was like 10,000 something,
because they
I
weren't
think.
outside the entire day.
Mm-hmm.
They went outside
Yeah.
after the
So
eviction.
it was probably, yes, it was probably
So
closer
like half
to
the day.
7
Well,
because
it might have been. Yeah,
they probably went in. They went
they went
outside
outside at night.
after at night and then they went back in just before. Yeah, so it would have been closer to 7, alas. So I would have failed this tiebreaker, but I also don't think I would have made it that far because I'm not really good
Exactly.
at remembering.
Yeah, no, I was trying to like play along with the game, and I was getting like everything wrong. I was like, dang,
Yeah,
like
no,
I
I
actually would have like bricked this so hard.
I mean, maybe too, it would have helped if we were like all like a room of people studying it, perhaps. I don't. But the tiebreaker, there were the most extreme opposite answers that could have existed for this competition. You've got Angela on one side. She gets like 15,000
15,000.
something, huge number. And then the other side, you've got Chelsea, who guessed 1,080 minutes. To my brain's knowledge, I'm pretty sure she gave an incredibly low number. And so our assumption, I opened up my phone to the math that I did
Yeah,
the other
I was
day.
gonna
I believe Janky World, it was about roughly 10,080 minutes. I think that's how many minutes are
60
in
times
1 week.
24
60
times
times
7.
24 times 7. Yeah,
10,000.
10,080.
So 10,000
So
is like
she
the number.
guessed like 1,080, which means that she just forgot a zero. I think that's what happened to Chelsea. See, my guess would have been,
I feel like 15,
ooh,
like
my guess would have, well, oh, wait, 60 times 24 times 8
it's
would have been
10,000.
11,520. So that would have been my guess. I would have been wrong because we are playing with the rule that it's not the person that gets the number the closest, it's the person who gets it closest and under
Yeah.
without going over. And so naturally Angela went way over. She added a couple more days, which is interesting. I don't know where those days came from.
If she just omitted a zero, she would have won, which is the crazy part.
I know. And Chelsea just did a really crazy low number. I don't even know if she meant to, but or maybe she knew that Angela was going to go over, but regardless, I was on the edge of my seat and then I flopped backwards in my chair and just
Sigh.
sighed because Chelsea won
I was so
head
sad.
of household. Why are you sad? I do want to explore that. For Chelsea is a draft pick of yours.
I'm sad because as much like I understand the draft is drafting
Uh-huh.
and like a win is a win. But we have to remember that we made these draft picks before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
This was episode 1 was made in my basement and Mole's room all the way back home, and we didn't even have a diary room yet. We didn't even have a Big Brother season yet.
Mm-hmm.
We just kind of read their like preseason interviews that they did,
Mm-hmm.
and we kind of gave a little, yeah, this person seems like a cool person, but you can't really get a full cross-examination on a person from a quick 10-minute read on what they like and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked Chelsea just because she seemed like a strong player. And she also seemed a little interesting.
Yeah.
And the rest of my draft picks basically followed suit. I was really just picking for the strength. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, sure, I guess I succeeded in picking the strongest player.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be lying if I said that I didn't want Angela to win.
Hmm. I mean, we talked before. I really loved Quinn. Quinn was on your draft, not mine.
Yeah,
So
I
it
didn't.
doesn't matter.
I was a little sour on Quinn. Like he's all yours. He's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you. That doesn't help me, considering he was the first
He was
juror
the first
of the
juror.
season.
So like, yeah, it was cool. Like whatever, he can go.
No, I did have Angela on my draft, and I was truly rooting for her. I
Yeah,
love
no,
Angela,
like you're in like the best spot because everybody should love Angela.
but people don't.
Well,
People are
those are
probably
like
like rejoicing over the
Facebook
fact.
people.
Yeah.
Those are like Facebook
Ugh,
people.
Facebook moms.
Facebook moms.
She's a Facebook
My
mom.
dad hates her.
Yeah.
He hates her.
So maybe this was a good outcome for him, but not for I. For Angela was so close.
She's just good TV, man.
She's good TV. I like her. Whatever. So fine. Fine.
Fine.
She's not HOH. Chelsea is HOH. And Chelsea has to name two people to go on the block, and she names Angela and Chemo. And then they go into oh, and then I don't know who the target really was at this point. I'm assuming it was Angela.
It was Angela.
It had to be Angela.
It was Angela from the jump.
And
Especially
so
with Chelsea as HOH.
yeah. And so they go into the veto competition, and everyone is eligible to play at this point, which really shows that it is late in the season because everyone could play, and I'm really sure it's like, oh, these are the players by random draw that we picked during the break, you know? So clearly it's very late. And so everyone is able to play in this comp, and this is what you mentioned before, where you just kind of have a ball that you have to roll down like a snake-looking
Ainsley was
thing.
building a weapon.
Ainsley
She was
is gonna
building
take over the world.
take over the world. And she enlisted the house guests to help her do it.
Because those are the people who finished OTEV in one round are certainly the
Yep.
people that you want to help you make a weapon of mass destruction.
Yay.
Totally.
Good job, Ainsley.
So they play this comp and they have to get like X amount of balls down the ramp and they have to go into this tube. And what I thought was interesting though was that the tubes on the end were clear so that the audience could see it, because there was a comp earlier in the season where they also had to do something where the ball, I think, went to the bottom. Or am I making that up?
Are you talking about the egg competition?
What's the egg? Oh my gosh, wait. I think I was watching a different season now that I think of it.
Well, they've done this before, but
Done
they
this
didn't
before.
have the guardrails on it.
No, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking of an older season. I was watching one of those videos where it's like comps that were rigged. That was it. There was a competition where they had to do something similar, where it was either at the bottom of a ramp or they had to put a ball into something, or it was one of the comps where they either had to throw something up a ramp. Anyway, I don't remember when this was, but I know there was a comp sometime in the last 25 seasons where they had to put a ball into something, but the little tube at the end was digital. They showed a digital version of it, and people were convinced that it was rigged because someone's ball like went up like faster than someone else's, and they thought that they were showing the audience the wrong thing, and they rigged it in favor of somebody else. So I just noticed that the tubes at the end were clear, which I appreciated because then it was genuine. There was no room for people to be convinced otherwise. Not like the outcome of the game really made you think that someone else won, because I think the winner ended up being kind of clear towards the end at least.
Yeah.
They kept the cameras on Chemo a decent amount. And yet like you said, there were these guardrails. Kind of.
Normally they didn't have them.
I'm thinking
But it was heated up.
I think that was the only reason, because it was a double. They only had so much time. It wasn't like perfect guardrails. It was on like half of the ramp,
Yeah,
half
just
of the
on
time.
part that like where it would have like the momentum would have been like on the outside. So
Yeah.
like, they just put it so they could just quickly get it down the thing.
And so, I mean, good for them. They figured that out, because we had the AI comp earlier in the season when it was at least Chelsea and Cam. Was it Chelsea, Cam, and Brooklyn, where they basically just spelled out the answer to them because they just didn't get it. This
They
is
like
like
actually made these like competitions kind of like for
like
whatever.
as interesting as this season is, these are not the smartest players.
Oh no.
Really, from the smartest of players. There's I don't think there's any denying that. But so they play this comp and they put things down the ramp and we get a winner. And the winner is Chemo.
Yeah.
Chemo win. And now I know that of course I would have preferred Angela because I would have loved if Angela was off the block. I don't want her to go, but I was glad that Chemo won because
Yeah.
yeah, you did something.
That's
Thank
kind of
you.
how I felt.
Exactly. I think the last comp he won was the first one in like when he won AI Arena. Was it the last comp he won?
He won AI Arena.
He did. It was the
Oh
first one.
yes, he
The
did
very
win
first
AI
one.
Arena.
And
I
and
do remember that. Yes.
that was when yeah, he won and the house gets cheered like
Yeah.
crazy.
Uh-huh.
It's like,
'Cause
okay,
it was the
tell me how
first
you
one.
feel. Shout out Matt. Anyway. But Chemo's second win of the season and has the ability to take himself off the block. And well, naturally he does so. Another veto used in the house. And Angela's like, "You take yourself off the block. Like, you go, girl." Which
He
is
was so supportive of
she was
him.
very supportive. She loves Chemo, and we'll talk about that more too. Um, and then so naturally, before he actually does this, everyone knows that he's gonna take himself off the block. It just makes the most amount of sense. Now, Chelsea does have to name a replacement, and I heard online, perchance, that Chelsea was looking towards I mean the obvious choice would be Rubina, but
She also
she
thought about putting up Cam.
she thought about putting up Cam. I think even Mackenzie was brought up. She thought about all of
Well,
her
because she
options.
only has 3 options.
Yeah. And um I mean I don't know. I think it would have been funny
It
if
would have been
Mackenzie
funny if
went.
she put Cam up.
I think
Or
I
put
thought
Mackenzie up.
because the thing is it would be funny if Leah walked into the jury and right behind her
Was
would be
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie because Leah went home because Mackenzie chose Chelsea. And it'd be funny if Chelsea evicted Mackenzie. I think it would be
Yeah.
silly. I don't think it would have made a lot of sense for her game though
It would
to
have.
get rid of either of them.
It would have probably put her in a better position.
To get rid of Cam,
No, to get rid of Mackenzie.
Mackenzie.
But she's just
Well,
like she's not the type of person to do that. Kind
well,
of. Like that's a massive move.
I mean, I do like Mackenzie. I mean, I liked her more than I think I do at the moment.
I
Um,
haven't liked her the entire season.
really,
Still don't like her.
I liked her janky week.
I,
I wanted to see her like redemption arc because she was kind of alone since the first week with Matt.
and she blew it. That's why I don't like her in
Yeah,
Janky Week because she didn't take anything from it. She never
yeah.
she just kind of like had a little flash. Like nothing happened.
I wish she
No development.
realized the power that she could have had
Exactly.
leaving that week. That's the most frustrating thing. Where I wish she went more the Leah Angela side, and then she could have got rid of. She's
I don't
she's
think
so
she
blinded
I
by
don't think she
Kelsey.
realizes that a trio of her, Angela, and Leah is literally the exact same
Mm-hmm.
as a trio of her, Mackenzie, and Chelsea, or her Cam and Chelsea, because like
Someone from outside of the diary room is trying to invade at the
an
moment.
outsider.
We're talking to production. Please, please stop distracting us.
Production.
There's marks left on the window.
Disgusting.
It's so gross. It's a good thing we're here protected by the walls of the
Walls
diary room.
Diary room. Yep. Heck, yeah.
But
Well, like, anyways, what I was saying.
it would have been the same thing
Yeah.
numbers wise.
Well, I was more or less trying to get at like game wise, but
Yeah.
low key, like not really.
Well, because the
Like
thing
Cam
is,
is
what?
dead weight.
Oh, wait.
Shut all my dogs at the crib.
That's all he know how to do. That's the
That's
only
dead
thing
weight.
he know how to do. The only reason why I think this as of right this second that people could remember Cam when the season is over is because of his shout outs to the dog at the crib. Dogs, sorry. Multiple dogs. But that's it. It's like a funny bit. I love it. I think it's
I know, I
hilarious.
love him.
I think Cam is funny.
Cam is so funny.
Personally, I think he seems like a good guy. He seems like
Yeah.
I would hang out with Cam.
Exactly.
As far as competitions, where is he? Chelsea can win comps, it's true, but clearly Leah and Angela can too. Angela's won a lot. Leah's won a lot, so has Chelsea, and Mackenzie has, and then there's Chemo and Rubina, and I think like Rubina won the same amount of comps as Cam, and we're looking at him as a potential comp beast.
Yeah.
We're so far from
Well,
it.
at this
We've
point in
moved
the
way,
game, we
way
haven't,
past that.
Yeah, we're not calling Cam a comp beast anymore.
And so at that point, you're right. Like numbers wise, Cam and Chelsea versus Leah and Angela as potential trios for Mackenzie to jump into would have been the same thing. Like as far as votes and goes and stuff. But as far as comp wins, you can't look at Cam as someone who will just like win anything because he can't. He hasn't. And that's okay. I would not.
Yeah.
There's no way I would. And so I think Mackenzie's just really blinded by Chelsea, which is funny because weeks ago she's always been blinded by Chelsea. And Chelsea didn't want to work with Mackenzie, and then I guess at one point the light switch finally turned on. I was like, "Oh, wait, actually this could help me because this is a number." Like Mackenzie for Chelsea. So now they're kind of working together. I still think Chelsea isn't truly uh, aligned with Mackenzie.
If I were Chelsea, I'm taking Cam to final two.
Any of them
every
should.
single day. Everyone in the house should take Cam to final two or Rubina.
Yeah.
If you're not taking one of them, that's the dumbest move you could possibly make.
Now, at this point, I think that I'm not getting into specifically jury members, like I'm just thinking overall, so I could contradict myself. I feel like Chelsea would beat Mackenzie, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong because there's relationships, right?
Pure numbers wise.
But I still think that it would make the most sense for anyone to bring Cam because Cam would lose.
Yes.
I feel like Chelsea versus Mackenzie, Chelsea may win, but that's not guaranteed. So it would not make sense for either of them to bring either of them.
The only person Cam wins against in the house is Rubina. I think Cam wins.
See that.
Cam wins against Rubina because at least like the only like I guess if you look at it from like a the standpoint that like you won competitions, like Rubina won like an AI arena and a veto.
I thought she just won the one.
Just one AI arena.
I think that was
and Cam has two competitions. Right? He has the one veto with the balls. The ball veto.
The
dogs.
The dogs, yes. The one comp he won was with the dogs.
With the dogs. And I'm pretty sure he might have another one, but I really am not 100% sure. But either way, like she's the only person that he has a theoretical chance against.
Yeah. I don't disagree. And that we will talk about. And we'll get into some jury. Let's open that up again.
We gotta talk about.
We gotta wrap up the double.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap up the double. And so Chelsea
does
not
home.
Well,
landslide.
Chelsea
3-0.
Long story short, Chelsea does not what? Be looking at. Okay, so Chelsea is just I know. There's not much to talk about on Sunday.
There is kind of a lot.
Fine. Okay. Chelsea, Chemo takes himself off the block, and then what was it, Rubina, and like a pretty obvious whatever, and Angela ends up going home. I love you, Chemo. I'm taking him to the final two, and Chelsea's like, get out of here.
Oh yeah, they were like
get out,
with
get
her.
Out.
She was like a villain. They were like, get out of here.
And so she leaves. It was a very lovely exit interview. She was very happy for someone who just got evicted. it was very sweet, and Angela just seems like someone who's really appreciative of the opportunity, and thus she
And look
is.
how far she got.
Look at
She
her.
has a shot at America's favorite house guest.
I think so. I
But
think
I
she's
feel
one of
like
my
I think
favorites.
Tucker might win it. I
Yeah.
have a feeling that I have like the deep down feeling that Tucker is going to just slaughter that award.
Mm.
Like he is going to win it with zero contest.
My top three, it'd be between like Tucker, Angela, and Quinn.
Yeah, no. I
I
would say the same
do,
thing.
if there's like another one that's not any of them, I feel like
Cedric, maybe.
ooh, I was gonna say T-Core. I feel like people like T-Core.
Oh, people.
I would put Cedric up there.
I
I
would
love
put
Cedric.
I
I thought
think
he was a
Cedric.
cutie.
I
But
miss guys. I miss Cedric. I'm up
in my
missing
heart's
Cedric.
in
I'm up
my
missing
heart's
Cedric right now.
all of my heart's young Cedric. But yes, like Chris said, we're moving on. That was the end of the double, and I will bring attention to the fact that I am wearing a item of shame upon my head, though I deserve two
Yeah,
because
you need a second one.
I lost two of my draft picks
Double.
in one night. I got double
Double
evicted,
evicted.
and by my draft pick getting out one, and Chris is getting out the other. Therefore, Chris is a have this week, and I deserve double shame
Double
for the
shame.
loss of Angela and Leah. But thus, there's more weeks to be weeked.
There's another week.
But we just have the
There's
Sunday
actually
episode.
2 more weeks.
This is
and
so
that's
true.
it.
Oh my
We're
goodness,
coming to the end of.
we have like, oh my gosh, the finale's in 10 days
Yeah.
to the date we are recording this. This is terrifying.
Jesus.
But we're in the present.
We're in the
And
present.
we get to the Sunday episode where we find out who is HOH after this double eviction. Of course, we need some insight into what happened in the double, but we get into Tiny HOH.
I hate this competition.
I think I may do well.
If I had to like make a list of my least favorite competitions,
Mm-hmm.
this would be like number 2, along
Really?
with like the egg one. And
Oh yeah, you don't like the egg
I
one.
hate the egg one. I hate this one. This one, I don't know which one makes me angrier between the two, but this one is ridiculous. Because why? Like, it takes up 30 minutes of airtime. And for the outcome that we got, what are we doing? 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. We spent a lot of time on it.
I hate this competition.
Now, I feel like I have a 50-50 shot. I'd either be really bad or really good at this.
No, like I agree.
I like chopsticks.
Yeah.
I feel like I could do okay with that. We spent way too much time showing this competition off. What were they doing again though? Like what was the theme of it? It was again
It was
Ainsley.
a
They
key
were
card.
they're
They were
building
making
a key card. And Mackenzie's kept almost
because Mackenzie's face
it was so spread out.
and her like the furthest left it could be
Mm-hmm.
that from her perspective.
Yeah.
The furthest left it could be, that one block at the bottom was hanging off the bottom.
Yeah.
Slightly. The because there was a little elevated platform for them to build it on. It wasn't a flat ground.
Mm-hmm.
So her platform was her farthest left key card piece that went at the bottom was slightly hanging off,
Bruh.
and she couldn't freaking balance it. And they showed her drop it like 3 times.
Yeah,
And they showed her rebuild it.
yeah.
Everybody was like, "Oh my gosh!"
And Chelsea got to watch the whole thing, which was interesting too. She was chilling. She was eating wings.
That was like me.
But she also saw at some point that Cam like stepped away, and she was so
meditating.
She was so upset about this. But like, I get it. It's so frustrating. You just want to go in there and use your fingers, but you can't. I would need a minute.
I don't blame Cam whatsoever.
No, but she was upset. Probably because she likes him. Don't you think? But perchance. So she got to watch the competition unfold. And then we get a new HOH. Not really. Not really.
I just fell to my knees in the Walmart parking lot.
We go right back into another Mackenzie HOH. For me personally, for my draft, I'm glad. I'm glad that she won. She's my last person on my draft. But also at the same time, I kind of wish it was not her
Anyone
at all.
but her.
Like literally anyone else.
I wish Cam won this week. I actually,
think
if it was any week for Cam to win, Chemo was right. Because before this competition, Chemo and Cam had a one-on-one. I don't know if it was in the bathroom. It was in the whatever that white corner that Quinn and Chelsea argued in that one time. Where is that?
The white.
You remember the corner where Quinn and Chelsea were arguing?
It's a
Where?
little bench behind Ainsley. Behind the box that Ainsley is, right by the front door.
Right there, right by the front door. Cam and freaking and Chemo were having a one-on-one, and Chemo was like, "We gotta win this week."
Mm-hmm.
That was just so funny to me.
Yeah.
Because like, why are we doing this? Why are you even in this predicament in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
And you still can't win.
Alas.
And now we're stuck with Mackenzie.
Now we're stuck with Mackenzie, who is obviously working with Chelsea and Cam.
Oh man, I wonder who she's gonna put up on the
now we're in the final 5. And therefore, if she's working with 2 of them, there's only 2 people to put up. We did see this, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so then Chemo and Rabina are up on the block, but what we didn't see and what we will see tonight, a 2-hour episode, they're going to show the veto. We know it is BB Comics, the return of BB Comics.
Spoiled all of them on their socials.
Chris informed me that the comics were already shared to the Big Brother socials. I thought I just saw it because I spoiled it for myself. It's a big deal. This happens every season. And I think some of them are going to be disappointing. I will maybe
there's a lot of disappointing.
I don't want to share like the details of them in case someone doesn't want to be spoiled, but some of them
that's true.
I want so many dogs at the crib.
All of the dogs.
All the dogs at the crib. Also because I know the artist has a dog. The artist has a Boston Terrier, so I'm going to look out for where the Boston is tonight. And so we're going to find out who won veto, what the outcome of the veto is, and then we have another eviction tonight. 'Tis not double, just one, to my knowledge. I don't think it could be more.
It's not a double. They're not gonna do it.
Well, because
what if they do a triple?
They do a triple.
They're gonna do a triple tonight, and it's the finale. It's actually the finale, and
that would be kind of funny.
And it's tonight.
That would be very silly. Well, there was some theories of a battle back. It's not gonna happen. Though I kind of wish that it would have, because
I wish that it wouldn't have.
Actually,
at this point in the game, no, I probably would have been in favor of one because Leah and Angela are gone. And I wouldn't be mad if Quinn, Leah, or Angela came back.
Yeah.
But like, whatever.
T-Core wouldn't have done too much. She didn't do too much while she was in the game. Don't look back in.
She did. She had the best social game, without a doubt.
Yeah.
She literally like absolute masterclass in social game. Like, to the point where I would consider it like, usually I consider like social game to be like a lesser factor in a player's game play.
She carried that though.
She actually, like, the fact that she shouldered the biggest evictions every single week is like too gargantuan of an achievement.
Yeah.
To just like look over.
Yeah, no, I can't deny. But there,
choice.
We don't believe there will be a battle back, unfortunately. So we're just gonna continue to ride this out. But again, 2-hour episode tonight. I'm not gonna spoil it because we're gonna find out soon.
I do not.
But I know who wins. I know who wins. But everyone else, y'all are gonna find out tonight. So we're just about the last couple minutes of the diary room. And so we are looking at the final 5. And it brings us back to our point from the beginning of the show when Chris was like, this is probably the worst final 5 that we could have picked from the season. I agree. we're
It's bad.
but good for Chelsea that she's surrounded herself with these people. These people, because I feel like the only person that she could be against that I'm not quite sure who would win would be Mackenzie.
You know, it'd be crazy.
I would love to know what would be crazy.
Imagine if Chemo or Rubina won the veto.
Oh, I would hope.
Imagine the chaos.
And then
Do you
Chelsea
think-
would have to
Do
choose.
you think Mackenzie would go home?
If it was like Mackenzie versus Chemo or Rubina,
Yes.
they would be smart to do that.
They would be. I would. Even if I was Chelsea,
Mhm.
yes. 1,000 times yes.
Well, the only thing is that
And it would help her also gain the respect of the jurors currently.
mhm,
I think that even if you lose Mackenzie's vote, you gain Cam's vote. Well, unless he's final two, then like he doesn't get a vote, obviously. But like
mhm,
you gain Rubino or Chemo's vote,
mhm,
probably because of like whoever gets saved or something, because you just take out one of the biggest threats. You
mhm.
gain the votes of the people in jury
Yeah.
because you made a big move.
Mhm.
Especially someone like Quinn would respect that.
Yeah.
T-Core would respect it. T-Core probably already has Chelsea's vote because they were fairly close when they were in the game.
Yeah.
Well, who knows really. But like either way, if you get the opportunity to take out Mackenzie tonight and she doesn't take it, I'm gonna be so mad.
I don't disagree.
I'm going to be
Well,
freaking
wait,
fuming.
where are we? You're saying Mackenzie out?
Yes.
Mackenzie's HOH.
Oh yeah. Lol. LOL. For gore. See, that's another reason why I'm mad. It should have been Cam.
It should have been
It should have been
Cam.
Cam so
But
we can lose.
oppositely, if Mackenzie were to take Chelsea out, that would be one of the best decisions possible for her game.
I think that would sour me less on Mackenzie if she did that. But
Yeah.
also like then it's just Mackenzie's game. Then Mackenzie just wins. Then I would be even sadder.
Bwomp. Well, here we are at the end of the diary room. And I don't know
Grim in here.
if we could see a Chelsea removal, I think that would be one of the biggest plays of the game. And
She's not gonna do it.
she's not gonna do it. But you never know.
She's
But
not gonna do it. Chelsea would take Mackenzie out, but Mackenzie wouldn't take Chelsea out.
I agree. Tragically. And thus
Tragically.
we wrap
Absolutely.
up the diary.
Tragically.
90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This has been the diary room. The diary room. 2-hour episode tonight, and we know that we're going to see
8 o'clock?
That's a great question.
Let's see.
Let's check. And while Chris double checks on that, I will mention that I heard we're gonna see some clips from the jury house this week, which I'm excited about. I want to see more Quinn. Love of my life, Quinn. To see what's been going on in the jury house. Who knows? Maybe we'll find out on finale night that Quinn and Leah are a thing. And if they're not, Quinn, I'm right here. I'm right here. Do we have any answers? Just Chris?
I am searching.
We're
guess
just searching.
It's probably at 8, I would think, because it's a 2-hour, so they would just need the extra time or whatever.
We're gonna hope. We're gonna hope. All right. Thank you so much for joining us for the diary room. We're gonna be here same time next week to discuss like the second to last episode of us before the finale. Enjoy tonight's episode. See you next time. Peace.